Welcome back to the Better Life channel, where we share knowledge for personal development through great books. Today's video is a discussion based on the classic novel The Alchemist, titled, Where True Motivation Comes From. Let's dive in. In our 20s, many of us question what our dreams are and what we truly want to do. By the age of 25, we wonder whether we have truly made the effort to achieve our dreams. Are we on the right path with our hearts and desires? And when we turn 30, we find ourselves questioning if it's still worth starting anew if our dreams haven't yet been realized. If you're still wavering in life with an uncertain heart, reading The Alchemist, a 25-page book for about 2 hours might just provide the answers you seek. The Alchemist has been published for over 30 years, translated into 81 languages, and sold in over 170 countries. In Brazil, its popularity is on par with football and religion. The book's impact is immense because, as we read it, we can see reflections of ourselves in the story. The Alchemist tells the story of Santiago, a shepherd boy. To pursue his dream, he sells his entire flock of sheep, his entire wealth. Overcoming numerous challenges, he embarks on a quest to find treasure in the desert. This parable is a simple yet profound story that has touched the hearts of hundreds of millions. It also reflects the author's own spiritual journey. At 17, the author Paulo Coelho was sent to a mental hospital by his parents. As he grew older, he was imprisoned for opposing a dictatorship. At 38, feeling as if he had achieved nothing, he undertook a pilgrimage, walking nearly 600 kilometers to Santiago, Spain. This journey lasted over 3 months, allowing his restless heart to gradually find peace. He then poured his insights and reflections from this journey into the story of Santiago's quest for treasure. Since its publication, The Alchemist has illuminated the hearts of countless individuals who are lost and uncertain in their lives. Paulo Coelho has become the only Latin American author who can be compared to Gabriel Garcia Marquez, the author of the timeless novel 100 Years of Solitude. The Alchemist tells us that a life without purpose is merely a chaotic maze, where everyone who enters will only seek an escape for themselves. If you're too concerned about gains and losses, you'll always end up missing out on your dreams. Santiago was born into a very ordinary family in Spain. His parents relied solely on a few acres of farmland. From the moment he was born, they pinned all their hopes on him, sending him to a seminary with the hope that he would become a priest and make the family proud. Being a priest would provide a stable life, but that wasn't Santiago's dream. One day, he mustered the courage to tell his father that he didn't want to become a priest. His dream was to travel, to explore the world. Despite his father's strong objections, he couldn't persuade someone who was truly determined. Eventually, his father had to compromise and agreed to let his son try his luck. He gave Santiago 3 gold coins and told him to buy sheep and live the life he wanted. These 3 gold coins weren't just a compromise. They represented his father's deep-seated support and resonance. After all, his father too had once dreamt of traveling. In this book, every character has their own dream. While Santiago's father wanted to travel, the street vendor selling popcorn dreamed of going to Africa. The crystal shop owner aspired to visit Mexico. Even the thieves near the pyramids had dreams of treasure hunting like Santiago. Yet, for various reasons and pressures from reality, they all had to put aside their dreams and live with daily regrets. But whatever the reasons, they always revolve around the balance between gains and losses. This calculation dims the initial intention and desire. If we lack courage and determination to pursue what we truly want, we'll never break free from our comfort zone. Santiago broke free from his comfort zone, left his homeland, became a shepherd, and chose to live the life he desired. Over 2 years, he learned many skills as a shepherd, saw beautiful landscapes, and met numerous people. He thought his life would continue smoothly in this manner, but once again, as if the universe was sending him a signal, he had a recurring dream for 2 consecutive nights. In the dream, a boy guided him to Egypt and told him there was a treasure nearby. What could this dream mean? So he met an old man known as the King of Salem. The old man told him that the dream was his destiny. The treasure was incredibly tempting, but the current life seemed more practical. Santiago was deeply conflicted. If he pursued the treasure now, he would have to give up what he already had. Like many others, he almost lost himself. If you focus too much on what you gain or lose, you might miss out on what truly shapes your destiny. As the king of Salem told the shepherd boy, "Destiny is what we truly want to do." This statement immediately sparked Santiago's passion. After all, wasn't his lifelong dream to see the vast world out there? Santiago followed the call of his heart. Once again, he chose to set out to fulfill his own dream. You need to understand that the biggest con in life is when you give up, bow to reality, and say it's too late. This is your destiny, and you must accept it. But in reality, destiny isn't about regret. Destiny should be what you truly want to do. People often wonder whether they'll regret what they dreamed of doing or what they've actually done. According to research, for most of the things we have done, if there are failures, we soon regret not doing better. Over time, we gradually rationalize it and no longer feel regret. But for the things we truly wanted and couldn't achieve, we will ponder them every day, regret them for a lifetime, and find it hard to forget. Because we can't rationalize it or convince ourselves otherwise. A writer once said that because we don't take the first step, dreams remain distant. Dreams cannot withstand waiting and are also afraid of discouragement. Like red-hot steel in the fire, it must be forged at high temperatures to be shaped as desired. Once it cools down, it becomes harder to shape. So, when your long-held dream is being awakened, act immediately. Take the first step in pursuing your dream while that enthusiasm still exists. Even if we may never fully achieve it, in our daily efforts, we will always see ourselves becoming better and better. What's blocking you will require you to be even more determined. On the journey to pursue a dream, things are rarely smooth sailing. Just like Santiago in the early days in Africa, he faced two major setbacks in a row. First, he struggled with a language barrier. Second, he encountered someone who spoke Spanish and seemed like a genuine friend, only to end up being swindled out of all his money. Just yesterday, when his future looked bright, he now found himself with nothing. Feeling on the brink of giving up, Santiago remembered he had once owned 60 sheep. Now he had nothing. He was alone and lost in a foreign land. At that moment, he recalled the words of the king of Salem. When we are determined to achieve something, the whole universe conspires to help us. These words gave him renewed confidence and courage. The next day, Santiago packed up his belongings and set out to find opportunities on the streets. Life sometimes gives us a hard knock, but it can also offer us hope and belief, as long as we have a trusting eye, the ability to spot problems, and a willingness to help others. Santiago found a crystal shop on the street, but it was quite dull. Observing the situation, he suggested to the owner that if the crystals were cleaned, they might attract more customers. He offered to polish all the crystals in exchange for just a meal. When the owner hesitated, Santiago took it upon himself to start polishing the crystals. Surprisingly, his efforts attracted 2 customers who made purchases, and he was hired. However, his dream of reaching Egypt was still thousands of kilometers away, and working here for a couple of days wouldn't be enough to fund the journey. During the pursuit of a dream, there will be times when we feel the most hopeless. After working tirelessly for a long time and seeing that our dream still seems distant, it can be disheartening. Santiago also felt this pain but had to stay at the crystal shop. He put aside his dream momentarily to focus on earning money. Sometimes, he had brilliant ideas that helped improve the shop's business. A year later, Santiago had doubled his initial amount. Moreover, he not only learned about business but also picked up some Arabic. For someone with a clear vision of what they truly want to do, challenges and difficulties become less of a burden and more of a test to refine oneself and a stepping stone to personal growth. Letting go is the key to reaching the shore of your dreams. At this point, Santiago had a choice: to continue living a wealthy business life or to pursue his dream. Despite the crystal shop owner's attempts to convince him to stay, Santiago still heard the words of the King of Salem echoing in his mind. Always remember what you truly want. Thus, he gave up the luxurious life in front of him and chose to continue chasing his dream. He never forgot that the purpose of his journey was to reach Egypt and find the treasure. So he continued his journey, traveling thousands of kilometers until he reached a small oasis. There, he met a beautiful girl named Fatima. The moment he looked into her eyes, Santiago's heart was filled with the waves of love at first sight. Over time, he fell deeply in love with her. He even considered abandoning his dream to stay at the oasis with his beloved forever. But the dreams of the alchemist awakened Santiago. Someone in love, almost losing himself. Abandoning his dream would cause him lifelong regret, and his loved one would also bear the weight of living with him for the rest of their lives. Seeing his own heart, Santiago resolved to pursue his dream and was determined to reach Egypt. The alchemist taught that to truly live, one must know how to let go. Only by being willing to let go can one achieve what they desire. If you don't let go, you can't have it. Those who achieve great things know how to forgo immediate pleasures to pursue the dreams that lie deep within their hearts. True motivation always comes from within. Next, Santiago faced numerous major challenges in his quest for the Egyptian treasure. While crossing the desert, he was captured by enemy soldiers, and all his money was taken. He was forced into a situation where he had to transform into the wind within 3 days, or he would be killed by the soldiers. Despite this seemingly impossible challenge, he maintained his spirit. He used all the love in his heart to communicate with the sun and wind, feeling the soul of the world and connecting with all things, striving to understand the language of the universe. Inspired by the alchemist, he challenged the impossible and ultimately became the wind. However, when he reached the pyramids, not only did he not find the treasure, but he was also beaten by thieves who took all his gold. Yet, from the words of the thief, he learned that the exact location of the treasure was back in his homeland. When you truly have a dream you always want to achieve and that remains in your heart, no matter how difficult or challenging life becomes, it cannot stop you. As Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." The author also reveals that realizing your dreams makes life more interesting. Each of us has boundless potential in life, and the pursuit of our dreams is always filled with joy. Even if a dream does not come to fruition, the journey toward it brings genuine happiness and makes us a better version of ourselves. Just like Santiago in this book, who crossed seas, traversed deserts, and traveled far and wide only to circle back to where he started and finally find the treasure. It may seem like a waste of time, but in reality, everything he saw, heard, and experienced along the way added rich meaning to his life. Even if Santiago never found the treasure, the life he lived was incredibly rewarding. All the ups and downs were valuable experiences contributing to his growth. Life is not about the days we lived, but about the days worth remembering. Dear friends, remember that when you have a dream, you must pursue it. Never give up on the dreams in your heart, no matter how practical the world seems. Keep your dream in the warmest part of your heart. No one can stop you from living the life you want except yourself. You must believe that all motivation comes from the fervor within yourself. You must believe that there is no tomorrow you cannot reach. May we all face our true desires with courage, pursue our dreams, take responsibility for our lives, and make them shine. Thank you for listening. Better Life Channel are dedicated to sharing knowledge for comprehensive development through great books. If you found today's video helpful, please share it with those who need it. Support us with a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to catch our latest weekly videos. And if you have any thoughts or feelings, please share them in the comments below. Thank you, goodbye, and see you in the next video.